I've never read this many books before in a year. Greetings. I just thought to come in here. So currently I've been reading this book, which is the Messages to Young People, and it's a really nice book. It's a spiritual book for young people. There's so many sections in there, and I'm currently on the section of being a good steward for the Lord. And just reflecting on, what I was reading, I really remembered how this year I really wanted to cultivate more reading into my life. So reading books that were profitable, so books that were true. So I'm a person, I'm literally not into fiction. So I'm literally reading either spiritual books or books which are true, because I honestly believe in what we read does affect our mind. So I had the challenge to, by the end of the year, get to 12 books. And currently I'm in a weird situation actually, because currently I'm actually reading 4 books at the same time. So this book, I'm tending to read it on Sabbath. And in this book currently I've only got 106 pages left. So I'm really quite proud of that. And hopefully I should be finished in a week's time when I read it again. Or if I'm able to read the last 106 pages today. So with that, I'm also reading a book called Desire of Ages currently, and a book called Hiding from Love, which is by a Christian psychologist. And I'm reading a book called The Meaning of Marriage because of the book club. So if I would add that all, my last book that I finished was a really inspiring book about this lady who was broken, from broken to blessed, and she was just in a very difficult situation, but God just turned around her story from an abusive relationship to basically starting off a children Christian show online. So that was just so amazing. The book was extremely inspiring, and so now I'm just reading all these books now. So 6 plus 4, so hopefully by 2 months time I should be able to finish them all. This one should probably be finished soon, so that would be 10 books in about 2 months. And I'm just so inspired because when you start a habit, can be quite difficult cultivating the spirit of starting to read. And for me personally, I first started with a book that was quite short, because I knew that if I started with that book that was short, it would give me the confidence to read on. So that's what I did. So the first books that I would choose, I think they were all under 200 pages, and then from there, just going up and up. And it's helped me to basically not to start with a crazy amount of words or pages. Like, I didn't think it would be wise to start a challenge with a book that was literally 5 to 600 pages. So I started with books that were probably like 150, 200, and then I gave myself a crazy challenge of one book. I think it was the third book I read. I decided to read it in a week, and that just boosted my confidence to show that I could read a book in a week. But now I'm just literally reading quite normally. One book I'm reading it with my devotion, which is Desire of Ages. The other one, this book, I'm reading it on Sabbath. And the other two, I'm just reading it all around. So one of them, because it's just for Thursdays and it's only about 10 pages a week now, because I finally caught up. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I just want to encourage you to take that time to read, to take that time to read your word, and also spiritual books as well, because I just honestly see that there's power in reading, and I can honestly see that I feel like a growth and a change. Thinking of January to now, I feel like I've grown quite a lot just by reading, and because as well I'm quite interested in like psychology and things like that. So reading books from like a Christian psychologist. If you haven't read a book, Boundaries, so it's a book called Boundaries. It's not that book, but they wrote that book, and it's really interesting. So I'm just really reading books that I know that would help, and books that will help me not only spiritually but also like in my work, because in the current book I'm reading, I think it's gonna address later on about attachments. And I did do a presentation, an AY, on some Sabbaths ago, 3 weeks ago, Sabbath. So I'm just really excited for this year, and God has already just showed me that everything is possible. I've never read this many books before in a year, and so I'm just really encouraging you that, pick up that book, start with something small, whether it's be go take the book on your way, whether you're someone who gets on public transport, get that book in. If you're someone that sometimes likes to relax and have a bath, read that book in, or in your breaks, read that book. So I realized as well, even in a 15-minute break, you will be so surprised to see how much you can read. So I just want to encourage you as well. If you also want to start this reading challenge, comment below. And I pray that it will be a blessing as you start to read God's word, or even, some spiritual books like this book. I would really recommend. It's a blessing, messages to young people. So have a blessed day and see you later. Bye.
For with God, nothing shall be impossible. Whatever challenge you have in mind, remember that with God, nothing shall be impossible. Start small and remember these words. And as you think about what you want to do, take it to the Lord in prayer and then put what you have into action. Shalom, and I wish you all the best in whatever decision or challenge you want to face.